Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah bil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Yes, Alhamdulillah. So today, as I said at the last lesson, because we were getting into like many different things about the Muta'allaq, remember? Yes. So I thought we would do a special, and this special comes in two parts. The first part we're going to do today, yeah, and the second part the next lesson, and then we'll go back to the part of the hadith that we were doing for the first session of the second hadith, yes, and we'll go through the, how do you say, the Shibh Jumlah in that particular portion of the hadith. Yeah, inshallah. I hope by then it is clearer what it is that we are doing. Okay, so I actually put here in a nutshell. No, it's a very big nut, so this is going to take a bit of time, yeah? But it's really, really important to understand how the Shibh Jumlah works in Arabic. Yeah. Okay. So, what do we mean by Muta'allaq? Okay, what do we mean by Muta'allaq? This is the Shibh Jumlah, the one that is being connected. Okay. Shibh Jumlah, as you know, means something that is like a sentence or sentence-like, or you can say pseudo-sentence. That's okay. In my presentation today, I'm going to use the pseudo-sentence. Okay. So why do we say it is Shibh Jumlah? Why don't we call it Jumlah? Yeah. So there are two types of sentences, you know. One is the one that is mufidah, meaning it's complete, and we have your Shibh Jumlah, which is incomplete. Okay, so here, it's not a complete sentence, and it does not convey a complete and intended meaning on its own. It needs something else in the sentence to make the meaning complete. Okay, all right. So now, we are talking about this basically. How to connect words in a sentence so that from a simple sentence, like for example in a Jumlah Ismiyyah, you just have a Mubtada and Khabar, you know you can build one just from these two components, but it may not be an informative sentence, yeah? So we'd say, he's a teacher. So that's a very basic Jumlah Ismiyyah. He is a teacher. But surely want to say something more about this teacher, yeah? So this is how we learn to build meaning into a sentence. And we need something called the Shibh Jumlah. Okay? So we have the building blocks, and we know we need to connect things, and we're going to use the Shibh Jumlah. Yeah? Okay. So what is this word ta'alluq? Okay, it comes from family. Which family is ta'alluq? What are these signs here? We know the root letters are ain, lam, and qaf. So when you have a ta and a shadda, which family are we looking at? Yes. Good. Ta'allaka, yata'allaku, ta'allukan. Ta'allukan. Yeah, so this is a masdar. Yeah, what we're looking at here, ta'alluq is the masdar, or the idea behind the verb. Yeah, so it means basically to be connected, to be related. Okay, so as you know, when we have a verb, we have two kinds of words. The isim fa'il, the isim maf'ul. So when we say muta'alliq, we are looking at the isim fa'il. Yes, so the one that is being connected. Then we have another term which uses the isim maf'ul, and we have a bihi connected to it. Yeah. So we say Muta'allaqun bihi. Yeah, so this is the one that the Muta'alliq is connected to. Yeah, that's why we have bihi. Yeah, so, but usually in grammar, in the grammar circles, the bihi is dropped, understood, yeah, and we just mention the Muta'allaq. Yeah, Muta'allaq. Okay. So now we want to look at this connection. And so how is this connection made? Okay. So this is a definition. Yeah. So ta'alluq, we can also say it as an irtibat. Yeah. What's an irtibat? That's connection. Okay. So basically what all of that is saying is that mafhum, how we understand something, the ta'alluq or the connection or link, we see in this ra, ba, and ta, rabit. You remember when we talk about conditional sentences, or when we talk about what other cases when we have harfu rabita? Conditional? Anything else you can think of? When you can think of it, let me know. Yeah. So rabit is link. So irtibat is the link itself. Okay. So now we say that the Shibh Jumlah, the pseudo sentence, or what some call prepositional phrase, yeah, is like ashbahu biqit'atin naqisatin, an incomplete piece. You know, naqis, as in which as in our incomplete verb, yeah, a naqis fi'il and so on and so forth, yeah. Then la yazharu ma'naha, yeah, it doesn't, its meaning does not become apparent until illa bir birtibatiha bihadasin asasiyin fil jumlah. Yeah, and until it is linked to a fundamental asasiyin, yeah, event or something that is in the sentence. So it becomes more meaningful when you connect it to something. Okay, so let's see this in a diagram and hopefully it becomes clearer. So we have the Shubha Jumlah. So the most obvious role it plays, because, you know, when we will look at the different forms of Shibh Jumlah, then you will understand better why it's Maf'ulun Fihi. This is the first function that it does. Yes, you know that Fihi answers the question when and where. Yeah. So that's connected very closely to the Zharf. Yeah, and you know Zharfs is basically a Mudhaf, special Mudhaf, and it has a Mudhaf Ilayh. Yeah. Okay. Now, some Zharfs, the same word, for example, Yaum, yeah, it can be a Zharf or it can function as any other isim. Yep. So we need to see when it is a Zharf, when it functions as any other isim. When it's a Zharf, by the way, sorry, it will be mansub. When it functions as an any other isim, like Yaum, it can be Yaumun, Yauman, Yamin. Yeah, depending on where it is in the sentence. So this is what we call the Muta'allaq, the thing that is being connected. Then we have other things like the Khabar. We have all sorts of Khabar, yeah. We have Khabar Inna, Khabar Laisa, Khabar Kana. Kana and the sisters all have Khabars, and Inna as well. Yeah. So then we have Sifas, yeah, and things like Hal. Yeah? There are other things as well that it behaves as, yeah, the Shibh Jumlah. But here, there are cases where things go missing, yeah, because they are in the place of the Khabar, for example. Yeah, so we will look at this in when the time comes. Okay, so in what way can we attach the pseudo sentence? Yeah, in what way can we attach the pseudo sentence to the Muta'allaq, the one that is connected to? Okay, you can mention it. You can mention the Muta'allaq, so you know very clearly what it's connected to. So the mazkur, the thing that is being mentioned and being connected to, as you know, can be either the fi'il or an isim. That is khabar, usually, yeah, khabar. Now, very, very important to remember the difference between the type of word and the function that that word uh, does. Okay, so for a mazkur, yeah, we can, let me mention, we can have a verb, which is a fi'il, basically, or we can have isms like ismul fi'lu, yeah, meaning sorry, ismul fi'li, which means they are actually isms, but they behave like a verb, like uff. Yeah, remember that's one. Or it can be a ismul fa'il, maf'ul, and we can have what we say a sifa mushabbaha bil fi'l. Yeah, that is also an isim. An isim in the form of a mubalagha, which you call sigul mubalagha, or the masdar itself. So all of this can be mentioned, and they are to what the Shibh Jumlah is attached to. Yeah, so we have muta'alliq bil fi'il, for example. And then when we have muta'alliq bil khabar, it can be the ismul fi'li, it can ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul, whatever isms that we can look at. Yeah. Having said that, please also be aware that some isms can behave like verbs. Yeah, so you sometimes you have muta'alliq bil fi'il, and the fi'il looks like a verb. Yeah, like ja'ilun khalifa fil ardi. Yes, but ja'ilun there is treated as a verb. Then we have a muta'allaq that is mahzuf. Yeah, so that's where we have the other cases. So this one, when it is mentioned, yeah, when the muta'allaq is mentioned, then we say that is lahu. Yeah, lahu doesn't mean lazy in this case. It's just that it's there. Yeah. Maf'ulun fihi. Yeah, these are all that we are mentioned. They come under muta'alliq. Now, when they are mazduf, the muta'alliq is mazduf, you can have the shibh jumlah behaving like a haba, sifa, a hal. Yeah. And when it is zaf, it's mustaqar, meaning it is not mentioned. Yeah, the zaf is not mentioned. Here, the zaf is mentioned. Any questions? Hmm? Okay. So, what are the different types of muta'alaq that can go masuk? It can be in two forms. Like we said, it can be an isim, or it can like sabitun, mustaqirrun, kainun, yeah, or it can be a fi'il like sabata, istaqarra. Yeah, so these are the ones that they normally use. Okay. Now, we will see this in the next session, how it's used. What I intend to do today is just to give you the building blocks of Shibh Jumlah. Then we'll connect it together the next lesson. And by connecting it together in the next lesson, inshallah, we should be able to do our hadith, the second hadith, in a more enlightened state. Okay, inshallah. Yeah, my animation has gone wrong again. So now, when we have an omitted noun, sabitun, for example, okay. So give me an example of a jumla ismiyah. Okay, inna Allaha ma'asabirin. So we know we say these verses sometimes without thinking. We just know that indeed Allah is with the patient. Yeah, and we think it's a complete sentence. Yeah, but the grammarians, I beg to differ, say that there's something missing. They say there is sabitun is missing. Yeah. Why? Because inna has its isim and it also has a haba. So where did the haba go when we only have ma'as sabir, which is a shibh jumlah in the form of ja or majrur. Yeah. Okay. So here we have our mushabbah bi fi'il, inna, isim inna, habar inna. This is the tarkib, not the Irab. This is how it is built. The sentence is built. Okay. Then we also have the cases of the omitted verb. Yeah. Remember what I said earlier? Some examples of what they take as mahzuf when it's an isim. It's in this form with all the tanwins. You know it's an isim. These are fi'l. As you can see, it looks like fi'l madin. Yeah, but they're occasionally as mudari as well. Okay. So let's look at Jumlah Fi'liyyah again. So قال الذين في النار. So we see this often and we think it's complete. What's missing? Yeah, الذين في النار. Those who are in the fire. Yeah, that's how we would translate in English. It looks perfectly fine. Yeah, but no. Because remember, when we have mausul and a sila, the sila is a sentence. It's a complete sentence. Yeah, it's a complete sentence. So this is finnar. It's hanging. Yeah, so that's why they say there is something missing. Yeah. So here we have the fi'il, and this is the fa'il. Those in the fire. Those in the fire said. Yeah, this is the jumlah. Istaqarra. Istaqarra, who are basically staying in the fire. Yeah, so this is what is missing. The verb. So mausul and the sila. Okay, so we see now basically how the building blocks come together with the use of your jumlah, shibh jumlah. Okay, so now let's go on further. So what is a shibh jumlah made of? Did you notice from how I was showing you in the slides? What makes up a shibh jumlah? Sister Amina, would you like to hazard a guess? Yes, Sister Sakina. Yes.
Sorry, Ustad, I was on.
Oh, it's okay. Yes, Sister Sakina.
Zharf makes plus mudari or madi.
Okay. No. Now that
Jar
means
majrur.
yes, Jawa Majrur. Alhamdulillah. Yes, Jawa Majrur. Yeah. It is not as you said just now, a fi'il, whether it's fi'il madin or fi'il mudari. Yeah. It is actually a shibh jumlah. When you say it's a jumlah, fi'liyah or jumlah ismiyah, yeah, then it's a sentence, a complete sentence. But we define shibh jumlah just now as something that is incomplete, that it doesn't convey a complete meaning without something else. Yeah. So, but first, what makes up a Shibh Jumlah. Okay, as you mentioned,
Can,
the first one.
can I answer? Yeah.
Yes.
So Shibh Jumlah, and I think Zharf wa Mudhaf Ilayh can make one to adverb,
Yes.
and another
And
one is Khabar Shibh Jumlah. Just on Khabar Shibh Jumlah.
okay. Mm-hmm.
That's
And
inside the
no one,
sentence. Sorry.
no one. Now you see, this is why I feel it's very important for us to go through this. But okay,
So the
a Shibh Jumlah. Yeah.
Shibh Jumlah and Zharf wa Mudhaf Ilayh, and
Can you see
Khabar
my
Shibh
slide?
Jumlah, yeah.
Can you?
Jar Majrur. Isn't one for Zharf?
Okay. Shibh Jumlah consists of only two things. Just two things.
Mubtada and
Okay.
Khabar.
No, Ja wa Majrur.
Oh, Jar
And
Majrur. Oh, yeah.
and
Prepositional. Yeah, Zharf.
both are prepositional
Yeah.
in phrases. Why they are prepositional phrases, we will go see the next slide. Yeah. So one Ja Majrur and the other one is Mudhaf. Yeah. Which is in the form of Zharf.
Zharf, yeah.
Okay. This is the one Zharf. Yeah. So why are they under the same heading? Okay, so this is basically a half with an isim. These are two isims. And so happens the mudaf is a zaf. So this is a special mudaf because it's zaf. Okay. Now, if you look at these two examples, Jawa majrur fil ardi. Ardi is place in the earth. Okay. Then we have mudaf ilayh. So baina asma asama asama'i wal ard. Yeah, which is basically between the skies and the earth. This is an isim, baina. Yeah, it's mabni. It's baina. And it's a zarf. This is half of ja, fi. You have other half of jas, yeah? Min, ala, ila, li. Yeah, these are all half of jas. But they are halves. Yeah, and they're also mabni. Okay. But one is half, one is isim, but the meaning is to show where, to answer the question where. Okay. We can also have fi Ramadan, same half of jar, but now we're looking at time. Yeah, the month of Ramadan. And we can also have Baina al-Maghrib wal-Isha, meaning between Maghrib and Isha. So Baina shows you a duration between Maghrib and Isha. Okay, so there is similar meaning. They are actually describing when and where. But one uses half, the other uses isim. And the isim happens to have a name and we call it Zharf. Remember, Zharf also means envelope in Arabic. So Zharf means to contain something. So contain something in the sense of place and time. So this is why they are called prepositional phrases. Preposition in English means a place. Okay, yes, that's something that puts you somewhere, connects you to something. Yeah, yeah. So preposition. So let's look at the examples of Zharf. Okay, here we have. Yeah, I'm not going to go say it out. Let's just take note of inda. And then we have asna'a, amama, ba'da, baina, tahta, hawla. Yeah, these are all Zharfs. And your harf of jar. Yeah, fi, ala, ila, min, bi, li, hatta, an, ka. Yeah, so these are what we normally find. I just want to mention something. I mentioned this because the Shibh mentioned this, so I'll mention this. So now about inda. And I remember I said to remember inda. This is in terms of translation. Yeah, in terms of translation. It says here that the word inda is translated as at the time of. If it is followed by a masdar or an abstract noun. Yeah. So here musibah akli. Yeah, time of eating. So and then that, okay, this one as well becomes mudaf. Zata yawmin, one day. Zata layla, one night. It can also mean zata shimal, towards the left. Zata yamin, towards the right. Yeah, so time and place again. Yeah, but in here, we are talking at the time of eating, at the time of difficulty. Now, we are going to learn a term called sarih. Okay, so this one has confused quite a number of people. So I'm going to go slow on that. Okay. But now for now, this is just extra information. Yeah, this is just information for you to understand how to translate it in English if you want. Yeah, yeah. And then we talk about bayna yaday, or we see this in the Quran. Now, literally, it means between the two hands. But when we translate it, it's either in front of or before. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So we really need to know the context when we see this. Yeah, bayna yadal matar. Yeah, bayna yadal muallim, the teacher. Yeah, in front of the teacher. Okay, just now we said what? Let's go back to that slide again. Remember, it is a Maf'ul Fih, or it can be things like haba, sifa, and hal. Okay, and it's a Shibh Jumlah, meaning it is a pseudo sentence, not complete. It can be in the form of Jawa Majrur or Zharf with its Mudhaf Ilayh. Yeah, okay. So now, how does it occur in three cases? Jumlah Fi'liyyah, Jumlah Ismiyyah, and a phrase. That means we have a phrase within a phrase. It can happen. Yeah, we've seen this before. At one time, when we did our understanding Quranic Arabic sentence structure, yeah, one of the lessons that we did. Okay. Now, it can happen in both sentences, fi'liyah, ismiyah, yeah. And what it does is it adds more information. Yeah? It adds descriptors, boundaries to actions or states. Okay. But it needs something to connect to. Remember, it's the connector. So it needs something to connect to. If not, it won't be a connector. Yeah, so here we go. A verb or predicate, fi'il or khabar. Yeah. Or something that resembles a verb. Remember what I said? The ismu fi'li, ism fa'al, ism maf'ul, masdar, yeah, the sigha mubalaghah. Yeah, all of these are your shibh fi'l. Those are soft terms. Okay, so but they behave like fi'ls. Yeah, they are isms, but they behave like fi'ls. Yeah, now this one I've just shortlisted some of them. Yeah. Okay, so these are the two things. And then sometimes it's connected to something that's not there. Okay. So let's look at a Shibh Jumlah in a Jumlah Ismiyyah. Yeah. Remember we said it can behave like a Khabar. And we know there are different types of Khabar. Yeah, so we look at the different types of Khabar. We have the normal Khabar. Yeah. We have what we call a fronted Khabar or Khabarun Muqaddamun. And we have the Khabar that belongs to our categorical negation. Yeah. La li nafs. Sorry. La li nafyil jins. Yeah. La li nafyil jins. Okay. So we have an example here. Ar-rajulu fil bayt. There is a man in the house. So mubtada and khabar. Yeah, mubtada and khabar. And your khabar is a shibh jumlah. This is when we say the actual khabar is mahzuf. Yeah, it's mahzuf. Now, here we have a case of fil bayti rajulun. Why? Because the mubtada is not ma'rifah but nakira. Then we have front the khabar. Yeah? We have to bring the khabar to the front. And when we translate, we say there is a man in the house. Or we can say in the house is a man. But the how do you say the classic mubtada is khabar structure is no longer used. Yeah, because we say in the house is a man. Or a more elegant way, there is a man in the house. Okay. Now here, la. Oops, sorry. Okay. La rajula fil bayt. Remember, when you have your la li nafil jins, it's followed by a mansub. And it's light, yeah, by the way. Now let's look at the other types of khabar. Yeah, we have habakana, muqaddam. Yeah, yeah. So it's kana. You know, isim. You know that isim kana is rafa. Yes, and its khabar is, if it's rafa, the khabar is Sister Shiraz. What's the status of khabar kana? No, Sister
I was going to
Alkan.
say
Can
Mansub.
So
I can try.
yes.
So kana fil bayti rajulun, kana fil bayti. So khabar is mahsuf.
Yes, strictly speaking, yeah, yeah.
So
But what is
kana
the
and fil
status?
bayti it's
What's the status of the mahzuf?
shibh. No, shibh jumlah. I don't know.
We have rajulun.
Rajulun
Yes, we
is
have
our mubtada. Mubtada
no,
muakhar.
no. There's only two things. We are having kana here,
Oh,
so
kana
there's
and
no
then it kana, then ismu kana and khabru kana, right?
Yes, that's right. So which is isim kana and which is habar kana?
I think rajulun is ismu kana, fil baiti is khabru kana, shibu jumla.
Yes. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Yeah. Because it an haba of there's only one haba uh that is mansub, and that is the one of kana and the sisters. Yeah. Okay. Laisa is one of the sisters. Yeah. So we see here the isim being rajulun, and the habar of Laisa is fil baiti, and there is something missing, the mahdhuf part. Yeah. So that mahdhuf part will be mansub. And then this one is straightforward. This is inna, and you know that isim inna is nasab, and its haba is rafa. Yeah. Yeah. So fil baiti is in the place of rafa. But strictly speaking, there is a mahzuf habar. Okay. So these are the different cases of habar in which you can find a Shibh Jumlah. Yeah. Have a good look at this slide. Lots of information inside it. You will see this again and again and again in the Quran. Now the next slide is really packed with information. Okay. Because we are going to move to Jumlah Fi'liyyah. This is what a Shibh Jumlah can do or can function as in a Jumlah Fi'liyyah. Yeah. So it can be Maf'ul Bihi, Maf'ul Fihi. But we are more familiar with Maf'ul Fihi, remember? Because we said that there's Jawa Majrur and Zharf with its Mudhaf Ilayh. And both answers the question when and where. That is, how do you say, like the default role of the Shibh Jumlah. Yeah, but somehow it can also mean other things. It can be Maf'ul Bihi, Maf'ul Mutlaq, Maf'ul Lahu, Tamyiz, Mustasna, Maf'ul Ma'ah, Hal, and Ala. Okay, we'll see examples of all of this in the next session. Yeah, in the next session. There's one thing I just want to mention. Tamyiz. Please remember this. Tamyiz is actually a mufrad isim. You do not have a tamyiz in the form of a sentence. Okay, we cannot call a sentence or a shibh jumlah tamyiz. Strictly speaking, it's a mufrad isim. It's a word by itself.
One single word.
Yeah? Yeah.
One single word.
Yes, one single word. However, what they like to say is it has the meaning of tamyiz. Yeah, you see this in the Irabs when you go we do it. Yeah, في معنى tamyiz. You know, with the meaning of tamyiz. Yeah, but really, it's not like the other case where the Shibh Jumlah can actually take the slot of an isim. Remember, all of these are actually isims. But you know, we have learned a long, long time ago in a land far, far away that we can make a jumlah take the place of an isim. Yeah, we saw that. Now we're seeing that jumlah can also do that, take the place of an isim, with the exception of tamyiz. Yeah, this one strictly an isim, but it can convey the meaning of Tamyiz because it's clarifying something. Yeah, it's clarifying saying something. Okay, so we saw Shibh Jumlah in a sentence, two types of
Ustada,
sentences.
so
Yes.
sorry. Can you please bring
Go
the
back.
last slide back one more time?
Okay,
Thank you. I have to
you
take a
see it?
picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to take a picture. Thank you so much.
Okay, you don't you see the notes that I share? Notes will have all this in it. Yeah.
Most of the time, don't get that much time, but so sorry. I will, inshallah.
Okay, all right. Okay, subhanallah. Oh, sorry. Here we are. Now we're going to go look at how it behaves in phrases. Okay. Now, when it is in a phrase, it can be ma'tufun or ma'tuf alayh. Yeah. Badal, na'tun. Yeah, I think we understand this. So sometimes it can be the ma'tuf alayh. It can be the Mudhaf Ilayh. Yeah? So it can be the second half of the phrase or the first half of the phrase. So this comes before the ma'tuf. This comes after the mudaf. Yeah, so that's why this is alayh and this is ilayh. Yeah. Okay. Now, when a shibh jumlah is a na'tun or sifa. Okay. Mawsuf sifa, man'ud na'tun, same thing. Yeah. Now, if it describes a word, well, we have the word describes, you know it's na'tun. Yeah. But what I want to show here is the meaning of غير صريح. What is صريح and what is غير صريح? Yeah. So basically what it means here is غير صريح, not clear, unexplicit, or indirect. Indirect is the easiest to understand. Yes? Indirect is the easiest to understand. So let's see for examples, because sometimes examples are worth 1,000 explanations. Yeah. So here we have a Jumlah Fi'liyyah. Ra'a ar-rajulu. So the fi'il, fine. Then we have طائرا على الشجرة. The man saw a bird on the tree. Okay. And here we have a Jumlah Ismiyyah. هذا هدى للناس. This is guidance for people. Okay. What's the tarkib? You have fi'il, fa'il, then maf'ul bihi. Yeah, this whole thing is maf'ul bihi. Okay. So here's your Jawa Majrur, your Shibh Jumlah. And we have here man'ud, na'tun, ghayru sarih. Okay. Now, in this example, the phrase ala shajara, on the tree, is describing the location of the bird. Yeah. It's not the place where ra'a is occurring, sorry. Yeah. So this is what we call na'tun ghayr sarih. Yeah.
The man can be on the ground and the bird is on the tree. So
The bird is
that
on the tree. Yeah. The man is on the ground. Yeah. So this is the one that is the direct connection. Yeah. But we have things like this where it is, in terms of tarkib, this is your maf'ul bihi, and we're describing the tyrant. She's actually seeing the bird. Yeah? This is the maf'ul. So when we do Irab, we say that this is Jawa Majrur, Muta'allaq to And we would normally go back to ra'a, but this is not. This is actually muta'alliq to the ta'iran. Yeah, so this is why we say this is ghayru sarih, not a direct connection. But it does add information about what's going on. Yeah. There are so many examples. It's so rich. I am thinking about another example, but I don't want to confuse you. So let's go to the next one.
Could
Yeah.
we say, Ustada, could we
Yes.
say the woman saw an aeroplane flying
In the
in the
sky.
sky? Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
That's like an aeroplane flying in the sky. That in itself, the Maf'ul Bihi has like a Jumlah Fi'liyyah in it. Yeah. So that's even more complex. Yeah.
Okay.
We have to break it down
A ball
bit by
on the
bit.
tree. A woman saw a ball stuck on the tree. Or on the
Yeah,
tree.
stuck on the tree. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you can say that. So the ball is described as on the tree, as being on the tree.
Yeah.
So this is the Jumlah Fi'liyyah, this is the Jumlah Ismiyyah. So Haza Hudan Linnas. So Linnas, for people, this is the Jawa Majrur. So it's a Na'at, but it's Ghayr Sarih because it's not the Khabar. The Khabar is Hudan. Yeah, the Khabar is Hudan. So this is clear, I think. Right? Any questions?
So this one
So you're
is
saying
normal.
both of them?
Yeah, both of them
Sorry.
are Na'tun Ghayr Sarih. They're not direct. For people. Interesting. Let's think about this. Yeah, this is clear. Why is this like? Sorry. Okay, we'll come back to this. Let's go on a bit. Now, in some cases, now just to add spice to the curry, it will be possible for the Shibh Jumlah in a single sentence to be taken as both as either a na'tun or a maf'ul. So how can this happen? It depends on where you put the comma. This is all I can think of. But yeah. Ja'a bayinatun min Allah. Ja'a bayinatun min Allah. Signs from Allah came. So from Allah here looks like a sifah. Yes, because you're describing the signs. Signs from Allah. Okay. Then here it says Ja'a bayinatun min Allah. And then we say signs came from Allah. From where? From Allah. See? One is sifah, the other one is maf'ul. From where? From Allah.
What is the difference?
One
Is
is
it the
maf'ul.
haraka?
No, the
But
way
there's no.
we stop when we say it. Okay? Here, ja'a bayanatun min Allah, meaning that that's one breath. We say, and then we say signs from Allah came, and the other one
But
we
that's
said,
not.
yeah, ja'a bayinatun, signs
Yeah.
came min Allah,
From Allah.
from Allah.
So that's maf'ulun bihi.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So depends on how you want to look at it. So we have to be careful where we put the commas and the full stops, yeah, and how we
Yes.
say it. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's not to. Then look at Badal here. If we get cut off, just come back in. Yeah. Now, a Shibh Jumlah can be the Badal of another Shibh Jumlah. What is Badal again? It's like a replacement. It's like a replica. And remember, we can have Badal in three forms: the whole thing, part of it, and a quality in it. Yeah. So this is something, but usually the whole of it. Yeah. Yeah. So here, Allah saved the Quraysh from polytheism. Yeah, and what is polytheism? From worshipping idols. So from worshipping idols is actually explaining polytheism, if we can look at it like that. But here it's taking it as the badal of polytheism. It's this one and same thing. Yeah. So Najjallahu Quraishan min ashirk min ibadatil asnam. Yeah. So here we go. So we have the fi'l, the fa'il, the maf'ulun bihi, and then we have a second maf'ulun bihi. Yeah. And here the second maf'ulun bihi, it's not directly connected to your fi'l. Yeah, but it's talking more about in what way do we save the Quraysh. Save is the first action. Allah did the action. Yeah. And then we describe this as Jawa Majrur. This is Mubdalun minhu. And min ibadati asna, the badal. Yeah. What is being replaced here or being defined here? Yeah. Polytheism and for worshipping idols. Okay. Now, he's also given us an example. Yeah. Instead of the entire Shibh Jumlah becoming the Mubdalun minhu, yeah, the thing being replaced, it is more common for the Majrur to be the Mabdulun minhu on its own, followed by another noun which becomes the Badal. Oh, now, like I said, that one we have to see in a definitely we have to see it in a diagram. Okay, so what is it saying here? Saying here. So here we still have the same structure: fi'il, fa'il, maf'ulun bihi, and the second maf'ulun bihi. Yeah, but this time there is a change here. Let's look back the original drawing. Minashir ibadatil asnam. Yeah, so now this is taken as jar, and here is the mubdalan minhu and the badal. In the original slide, yeah, we have min. Here we don't have min. Yeah, so this is another way of writing it. I'm sometimes not quite sure because I feel this should have been dropped here. So maybe that this was a typo or something. Yeah, but I can understand that you can write this sentence in this way as well with the same meaning because we have the same understanding. Yeah, we have the same understanding. So
Is that one?
this
Dalun means the
thing being
badal,
replaced. So that means the badal is equal to shirk. So shirk and worshipping idols is the one and same thing. Yeah, so that's mubdalun min. Okay. Okay. Then ma'tuf, we'll finish off with this. Here, we can have here, yarkabun nasu ala al-ibli wa ala al-khumur. People ride camels and donkeys. So we have ala al-ibli, ala al-khumuri. Yeah, so this is ma'tuf alayh with ma'tuf. Yeah, here we go. So this is ma'tuf alayh, your half or atfin, and your ma'tuf. And both of them are jar and majrur. Yeah, so this will be ya maf'ulun bihi ghayr sarih. Yeah, because it's not directly connected to the fi'il. There's something masuf here. Now, what happens here, it says that, okay, it's more common for the majrur, the one that follows the half of jar, to be the ma'tuf alive on its own, with another noun becoming the ma'tuf. Okay, so this is the ma'tuf now. So normally we would just say people ride camels and donkeys. Yeah, we don't go and repeat the Allah again. Yeah, so this is how it will look like. Yeah.
You don't repeat the word right again.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
this is what he's trying to say. Yeah. So another note that he gave us is that here, when a Shibh Jumlah is ma'tuf, it's not necessary for the ma'tuf alayh to be in the same form. So we have in the world, which is Jawa Majrur, and on the day of resurrection. So what is on the day of resurrection? So this is a mubtada. The khabar consists of all this. Yeah. So this is your ma'tuf, which is Jawa Majrur. And your, sorry, it should be ma'tuf alayh. Yeah. Yeah, this one should be here. Yes, and this is ma'tuf here. Yeah. So your ma'tuf alayh is Jawa Majrur, and your ma'tuf is Mudhaf Ilayh. So they can be of two different forms. They don't have to be Jawa Majrur, or Zharf and Zharf. Yeah, it also can be in this form. Yeah, I have to correct that. Yeah, inshallah. Okay, but your khabar is here. So this are all, how do you say, Muta'allaq bil khabar. Yeah, your Shibh Jumlah here. Okay. So let me repeat that again. Yes. So like I said, I need to correct the slide. This should be the ma'tuf alayh, and this is the ma'tuf. Yes, and they don't have to be in the same form. Yeah, the Shibh Jumlah can differ. So this is Jawa Majrur, this is your Zharf with its Mudhaf Ilayh. Okay, all right. Okay. Just an additional note. This is about Mudhaf Ilayh Ghayr Sarih. Yeah, Mudhaf Ilayh Ghayr Sarih. Okay. Can I know just how sure all of you are about what the meaning of Ghayr Sarih? Are you still blurry about it, or quite clear about it?
Ustad, explain it once again.
Okay. Let me finish this, and then we'll we'll go back to the Ghayr Sarih.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, this is Mudhafun Ilayh Ghayr Sarih. Yeah. And we know what Mudhaf Ilayh is. It's attached to a Mudhaf. It forms an
Yes.
idafa, and it's what we call a possessive phrase. Yeah, there's ownership.
Yes.
Yeah, there's ownership. Okay. Here, he is saying that one of the most common structures that you will find, yes, is when the mudaf is the plural of the main mudaf. Okay, so here we have ayatul Quran. Ayatul Quran. Yeah. So when we want to say something like the verse from the verses of the Quran, yeah, a verse from the verses of the Quran. So he's saying that whenever we have this sort of structure, what will happen is we have min. Usually it comes with a min. Yeah, this will be the plural of the main mudaf. Yeah, ayatun. So this is mudaf. The Mudhafun Ilayh Ghayr Sarih, yes, which consists of a complex, you want to call it, jar, half of jar with majrur. This is why we call it Ghayr Sarih. No, it's not something that is simple and direct, like a straightforward Jawa majrur. Yeah, it is a Jawa majrur that consists of another phrase. For example, in this case, Mudhaf Ilayh. Yeah, so this is what we mean by Ghayr Sarih. Yeah,
Okay,
this is
it's
what we
not
mean here.
just one simple word.
Yes, it's not just one. Well, a Shibh Jumlah is more than one word. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Jar or Majrur, a Zharf, and it's Mudhaf Ilayh. So in itself, it's not one word. It's not like Tamyiz, where it's an Ism Mufrad. Yeah,
Yes.
but that is the, if we say, the base or the basic Shibh Jumlah, the simplest form of the Shibh Jumlah. So the Mudhaf Ilayh, that's Ghayr Sarih, or the Maf'ul Fih, that is Ghayr Sarih, consists more than just the basic Jawa Majrur and Zharf and Mudhaf Ilayh. Yeah, there are other things going on with it.
It's
Yeah.
more complex because we could have simply said Ayatun Minal Qurani.
Okay. But here it says Mina Ayatil Qur'ani. Okay. Alhamdulillah. I hope the term Ghayr Sarih is clearer now. Inshallah. Yeah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay, this will be our final one. This is just a note because we see these words qalilun, shay, kathir, yeah, can become the mudaf of a mudaf ilayh sarih ghayr. Yeah. So in this case, we translate it like with some, a bit of, a piece of, a few, many, kasir. Yeah. So shay'un minal ma. Yeah, a bit of water, for example, and it belongs to a bigger, like we saw here. We saw a bigger Jawa Majrur here. Yeah, so something like this can belong to a bigger Shibh Jumal. Yeah, so then the whole thing becomes Mudhaf Ilayh Ghayrun Sarih. Okay, now just to summarize what we went through today, and we will talk about this in detail. Yeah, the next session, inshallah. And then finally, we go back to our hadith number 2. Yeah, if we have time, we can talk about hafusila. This is something we will see in our Irab as we go on as long. Yeah, if we have time, inshallah. If not, we will go through this when we come to it. in any of the hadiths that we come across. Yeah, inshallah. Okay then. So inshallah, I'll see you next week, and we will continue about Muta'allaq. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam, Ustazah.
Alhamdulillah.